It's Thursday, March 28th, just after 7. There was just some news. Just getting settled in here. Trading PA2 first. All right, had to manually close the trade. And that was a nice one. What did I get there? Looks like I got 7.5 points. All right, so plus 30 ticks. Good morning, Gary. Huge win. Yeah, that was, I think that's my biggest win on stream on YouTube with the strategy. Well, regardless of on YouTube, I think you're right. I think that's my biggest win. Most ticks with the strategy that I've had. And luckily on PA2. So I'm right back at 52,100. Which is great. That's basically right where I was before my last loss on that account. Let me update my stats here. 38 days traded on this account. Can I get it there? We will see. All right, do the stats. All right. Okay, says, I think the account will get to payout not too far away now. Yeah, I mean, this is the third or fourth time right at this profit level, or this balance level. So we will see. I'm just, after the way I was trading it before, I just decided I can't even really think about it, honestly. Because every time I'm getting close, I tighten up. I start skipping entries, and I kind of start ruining the edge of my system for myself, because I start analyzing whether I want to take a trade or not for certain reasons. and it just becomes kind of a clusterfuck of, becoming emotional about it. So the system that I'm trading is supposed to be kind of designed for me in a sense that what I like about it is it's really just supposed to be black and white and objective, and I'm not supposed to inject any kind of subjectivity into it. And so every time I've been getting close, I start doing that. I start picking and choosing which entries to take, and my edge is supposed to be that I'm just supposed to take every entry. So that's what I'm focused on right now. And then however the losses land are going to be how the losses land. I can't control it. So I just need to lean into my edge and let it happen. And, it's all an experiment to see if I can get to a payout doing it this way. So the thing is, I'm kind of messing up my own experiment when I'm being like the beginning of this week on Monday and Tuesday, trying to pick and choose just because I'm nervous about getting to the payout. Gary says, yeah, just think fake money makes it easier to take all trades that are valid. Yeah, I agree. So I got it's exactly that. I got to just think fake money. It doesn't matter. And just see where it takes me. Just see where the system takes me. And I don't know that it's going to work. That's why I'm doing this. It's like, maybe it'll get me there and maybe it won't. All right, I did lose a chart in this process here when I wasn't watching it. So I've got 3 good charts right now. Yeah, this week has been a little bit, interesting for me. It was just another reminder of like, hey, I seem to keep slipping out of like, it just gets really hard. It gets really hard to not apply some kind of rules to the reasons why you're taking trades. And when they look like they go against every rule you've learned for 3 years, it's really hard to ignore it. It takes everything out of me to like ignore all the rules I learned from Mac and take the trade anyway. Gary says, yeah, Gary says you're guaranteed to win some and lose some. It's so right. It's so right. But I've definitely, been reminded and keep seeing that when I just take the trades, more times than not, I come out on the right side. And there's still right now, 2 out of 10 times where I take a loss. But like Monday, I only had the one win that almost lost, but it ended up winning. Tuesday, I could have had a couple wins. And then I skipped them and it turned into an 0-2 day. And that was like a real reminder of like, hey, just take the trades. You could have been like 2-2 that day, which would have meant I didn't take a loss on PA2 and didn't take a loss on PA6, so it also changes where the losses fall. So I did damage to myself by not just trusting my edge. All right, so PA6 will be next. All right, trade 2. Not bad, not bad. I'll take it. Let's see here. Three and a quarter points. I should mention too that on my first trade on PA2, I took that with 3 contracts. I've been trading all my PAs with 2 contracts, but I decided, it's a 50K account, and I can take it with 3 contracts and absorb a loss if I get it. So that's also why the amount was a little bit bigger. I got to remind myself. 3 contracts at 30 ticks on that first trade. This trade was 3.25 points. So that's 13 ticks. All right. Update these stats now. So that's day 22. Gary says, keep that up. Your nickname's going to be Risky Business. I'll take it. I like it. Okay, so adding to the stats here. 2-0 today. 9-5 for the week. $158 for the year. All right. So off to a pretty decent start so far. And I'll move on to PA7 next. Now these 25Ks, I'm just trading 2 contracts still. And I also realized that a loss can really damage the account. I mean, almost to the point of blowing it up. So any given trade on these 25K PAs, because they're so low balance in the drawdown, I've still got less than 1,000 drawdown on PA6 that I just traded. PA7, I've got just under 1,000. So I've got room on that one. That shouldn't blow up if I do take a loss. All right, so PA7 will be next. And I'm going to actually look, let me see, getting comments here. Saggy, hey Saggy, how are you? PA2 is on a great start. Yeah, if you just joined me, PA2 was on my first trade, and I traded with 3 contracts today instead of 2 that I've been typically trading it, and got a great win, 30 ticks. So one and done for the day as usual, and right back to where I was before I got my last loss on it. So we're right back in the hunt, 400 away from a payout. But I'm now on PA7. All right, so So he says today trading good futures because on high, account 1 minus 203, account 2, oh, not minus, account 1, you're up 203, account 2 up 394, and account 3 up 146, I guess you're saying? You put like dashes in front of them so it looks like minus, but I'm guessing you're saying you're up since you end saying up. Gary says, nice work. It's very nice. All right. So I want to look for a different chart so I can have 4 again. Imagine if I was trailing my, doing a trailing stop behind each bar as they closed on that first trade. That would have put me over the 30% consistency rule. Yes, tomorrow is Good Friday here in the U.S., so there's no trading. It's a holiday, and the market won't be open. Thanks for reminding, Gary. So today is the last day of trading for the week. All right. Let's see here. I think I found another chart to use. And just when I find another chart, one of my other charts is no good anymore. Gary says, Discord yet? Sagi says, and why they're showing PCE data on Friday. Yeah, I don't know. But the market's definitely closed tomorrow, and then it'll be open on Monday as a regular day. Gary, are you asking me if I have a Discord yet? Yeah. No Discord yet. I actually have one, like just a private one that me and my brother use to communicate and show each other our trades since we're trading the same system. But nothing yet that I'm going to use wider at the moment. Right now, I'm just still kind of focused on myself and getting to at us. I mean, I'm not against it. At some point, I probably will. But right now, I'm so focused on just what I'm doing and being a little bit selfish about it. Just trying to, I want to reach my goals. At least get some of my goals started. And as you know, that starts with getting at least one payout. Just kidding. Yeah. No, I'm definitely, at some point I will, because it'll be nice to see what you're up to also. And that way you could post screenshots of trades you take, and I'd love to see what you got going on. Yeah, so it'd be a great way to definitely like share ideas and share what different people are doing, and just kind of see people's journeys and see how it's going, you know. But right now, yeah, I'm just selfishly just so focused on myself. I mean, I belong to a couple other Discords, and I really don't participate anymore. I used to. I'm in one kind of private Discord that I used to participate in a lot, and I'm just so focused on this right now that I haven't been. I was going to talk about the beginning of the week still, but I'm not really sure what I want to say about it, other than, you know, the big thing for me is just, again, having another couple days experience where, you know, I keep getting reminded when I'm not taking every entry I can take that if I'm like purposefully skipping an entry that I'm supposed to take, and then I end up with a loss or a couple losses or whatever it is, like I'm missing opportunities to get some wins because I'm like in my head and analyzing things, and the old like max system rules, I let those start playing a part, and the whole point of my system that I'm trading right now is I'm supposed to strip myself of all of that and just not be concerned with it. Because I've already proven to myself that system just doesn't work for me, right? Trading it the way Mac teaches. So this system has done the best for me, really the highest win rate and the most volume of trades when I don't apply any subjective rules. The only subjective rule I'm willing to apply is around these areas of previous day close or the opening price or previous day low or high, things like that. But otherwise, and it's not really a subjective rule, it's an objective rule because it's, you know, there's an actual line on my screen, so I know exactly where it is. So it's very objective, actually. Sagi, you're saying the market's open for half day. I mean, futures, I'm not sure if it is open half day. Honestly, for me, I guess I should check myself because I don't know for a fact that it's not open at all tomorrow, but I consider a half day holiday day like closed for me. I don't trade those days anyway. So maybe you're right, Sagi, but everyone I've heard talk about it has said that the market's closed tomorrow. I feel like I remember seeing a email or something from NinjaTrader brokerage saying it was closed. Let me see if I can find it. Reminder, holiday trading hours. No, Friday closed. I have it right here from NinjaTrader brokerage themselves from my live account. Friday closed, not a half day or anything. But even if it was a half day, I consider it closed because the volume will be so low on those holidays. But yeah, definitely confirmed closed tomorrow, completely closed. Sagi says, Gary, this year's so weird. This year also we have seen NFP data on second Friday also. I was watching UK Trader a little bit this week, and he had like, on the same day as me that I had a rough day on Tuesday, he also had a rough day, and it was like his first day where he is able to take a couple losses and just walk away. And he usually will take a couple losses on stream and then come back after stream. And, you know, he has a tendency of blowing up accounts and whatnot. And it was just making me think, you know, how happy I am with my system because it's so black and white objective that, you know, one, you know, I won't take trades that aren't a part of the system. Like I won't freelance and just revenge trade outside of the system. Well, I guess I did one time this week, actually, if I'm being honest, which was when I was trading my account that was $60 away from passing, and then some. Well, it was weird because I only needed 8 ticks. Actually, I should talk about that because I went back and looked at that trade from my live stream on Eval 31, and yeah, I needed 8 ticks. I moved my profit target to 8 ticks, my limit order, and I just needed it to tick through 8 ticks, and I would have passed it. And what happened was it went to exactly 8 ticks. It didn't tick through, and so that's the thing on a sim account. You'll get filled like virtually every time if it doesn't tick through a limit order, but on I'm not paying attention here. But on your real accounts or your Apex accounts, if it doesn't tick through, most of the time you won't get filled. So that's what happened. It filled on my sim account. I lost my ATM, and then let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to be ready to move it above this if it is going to engulf. If it doesn't engulf, I'll move it back. I'm moving back above this. Well, this account might be at risk right now. See what happens. I'm just going to leave it here because this account is at risk today. This may be the end of it. We'll see. It didn't engulf there, but this is just a safer space for it if it's going to get saved. So we might be blowing up a PA account today. Let's see if that opening price saves me. Doesn't look like it. So took a loss here. Still, the account's still alive. It didn't engulf, so again, I'm technically not supposed to have moved it, but I did, so that's fine. So unfortunate there, but it is what it is. Let's update my stats and go from there. All right, so oops. This account, that's only day 9 traded. Let me update my stats here. So definitely not turning out to be a great week overall, but again, it's like if I only have the one account that gets to a payout out of the 3, then those accounts did their job. Okay. So I'm 2 trades away from 200 trades in the first 3 months. I can't believe this is already going to be the end of the 3rd month, end of March. So what are you guys talking about here? PA2, so you said PA2 is great, great, great. Come back. That's why having multiple linked accounts is great. You don't need to fight liquidity in the sim. Sagi says, yes, I checked that yesterday. Watched that again yesterday. A glitch from NinjaTrader. So, oh, you're talking about my trade. A little glitch from NinjaTrader. So loss was big, 810, but your strategy was to have one trade on account. Then why you took that other trade? Yeah, so that's what I was going to say was, so I did have a little bit of a revenge trade, but it was more because I thought that it was a copier glitch, and I thought the trade was still going to work. So that's why I re-entered. But I think that's where I went wrong, was when I re-entered. That was the thing I shouldn't have done. But it was also weird because I had no ATM strategy on my screen, but it still stopped me out wherever the stop was. So I don't know. In the moment, the whole thing when I lost my ATM strategy is when it threw me completely off. So anything that happened after that point, it was just kind of one of those situations where you just don't know what you're going to do in the moment when it happens. So I'll be more aware next time to just, if something like that happens, maybe just don't do anything else and just let it be what it is. So Backstreet Boys, bye. Yeah, almost. I mean, look, if I had moved it any further, the account would have been blown. Gary says, just kidding, trying to make light of the situation. Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, it's weird, but because of the way I'm trading these accounts, I don't feel any sort of way about it, honestly. I mean, I'm happy with what PA2 did today. So no matter what happens with these other accounts, it just kind of doesn't matter to me, because once I get this, if I can get the payout for PA2, everything's paid for. Everything to date will be paid for minus $50. So it really doesn't matter if I lose these accounts ultimately, as long as I get the payout from PA2 ultimately. All right, so I got a remove this chart. So today it's funny, you know, I mean, this is like the psychology of how I'm trading these accounts, but today it feels like a green day to me. This account was already behind and not much hope for it getting a payout anytime soon. But the one account that matters the most had a great win. So I actually missed a couple of trades because I wasn't paying attention. Sagi says, how much payout will you get from PA2? What is buffer? Well, so I need to get it to 52,600. And my plan is to take max payouts anytime I could take a payout. So I can take 2,000 out. And so that means I'll have a 500 buffer because the trailing stop loss will stay at 50,100 once the account gets to 52,600. So I'll take 2,000 out. There would be 500 left. And whatever happens to the account from that point, I don't even care because it'll have done its job and given me that $2,000. So you got another 270 win, it looks like. Good job. Turning into a really great day for you. All right, so my next account I'm going to trade is 27. I'm just still poking around, looking to see if I can find any other charts to trade today. Okay, so I'm going to stop watching this chart. I was also thinking, because I think it's half price reset right now, so I could have reset this evaluation for $40 since it has like 3 weeks until it renews. But then I decided, you know what, it's a 25K account. I don't want to do that. I might possibly just cancel this account and then just buy a 50K account for the 80% off on Monday. I feel like, you know, I was kind of testing out 25Ks to see how I do, if it would get me to a payout faster. But so far I've got two 25K PAs and neither one of them is getting me there any faster. So maybe I'm just going to stick with 50Ks. I mean, you can see like this 50K eval is basically already at payout. So I'm being careful here because if this closes below the opening price, I might want to take this. But if it closes above, the wick is above it too. So I only want to take it if it can trigger below it. So, and this is a new chart I just pulled up. But yeah, if it closes up here, then I'm definitely not taking a trade because the wick is right at it. So this is just kind of like right in that area that I want to stay out of. I might want to take a long here though. All right, I got that. Gary said resistance at the 15s. Yeah, resistance at the 15s, but just enough room for me to get my scalp there. Felt pretty good about that. I like that it closed above the previous day. What is it? Previous day close, this blue line. So just enough room for me to get my scalp and get out of Dodge. All right, so I don't know why I said that. I've never said that in my life. That's funny. So trade 4. And that was Eval 27. All right. So Eval 27 just proved to me that I can qualify for a payout, even though it was on an evaluation. Because I haven't passed a 50K yet with the system. So now I'm 160 away from doing that. So yeah, it's just the first time that I'm saying, okay, I can get to the payout qualification amount on a 50K using the system. Let's see how many I got there. I got 4.75 points. So 19 ticks. Gary says risky business is saying get out of Dodge. That's why I laugh out loud. That's funny. Well, again, and my system, I'm supposed to take the trade and not let the subjectivity of like potential resistance there keep me out of the trade. So it's just, again, for me to give my best chance to my system. This is the way I find I need to trade. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll adjust things, This is a newer way of trading for me, where I'm kind of stripping myself of all these subjective rules. It's only been really a few weeks or a month or something. So we'll see where it lands me, Maybe it all blows up. Maybe it gets me there. Let's just see how it goes over time. So 3-1 today. But what I know is I'm getting a more volume of trades than I've ever gotten in my trading career. And my win percentage is no worse than it's ever been before. If anything, it might be a little bit better at the 80% overall. So let's see. So one more trade, I'm at 200 trades, which for me to have 200 trades in 3 months is insane. Like, really just unbelievable. I could have 200 trades in 3 months. Gary says, gonna get you a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle to put all those trades in your career under. Then we'll upgrade you to big risky business. That's hilarious. That's really funny. All right. So you can see, I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, Gary wasn't wrong. Gary called out the resistance here. And you see the resistance is coming into play and price is backing up. But two things could be true at the same time. Gary could be right that there is resistance there, and yet I could take my trade. I'm going for such a small scalp. I'm able to get my scalp before it turns around. So it was a tight margin, but it's like, this is why I like NQ, because if you try to do something like this on ES, you'll get eaten alive. You trade into resistance on the ES and you're just not, it's not going to go well. But with NQ, there's enough margin. I'm just trading in the noise here. I'm going for, between anywhere between 11 and, in this case, 19 ticks. I'm just trading in the noise. It's more likely that I'm going to get it than not get it on virtually all my trades, just because my target's so small. Saggy says Gary just changed gear today with some humor. I like it. All right, so now I've lost another chart that I wasn't looking at. Seems like every time I'm not looking at a chart is when I lose them, thankfully, because better to be losing them when I'm not looking than losing them when I'm taking the trade. So there's a little bit of luck involved in my strategy. All right, so I'm down to 2 charts right now. The other great thing is I can just keep looking for different charts. So let's see. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start looking for some other charts. What time is it? It's not even 8 yet. Gary says, yeah, he's laughing. Yeah, I'm done trading. So Gary's just having a good time. Gary's just having a good time today. So actually, the trade that didn't work, where was it? On one of my charts. It's a trade I wouldn't have taken because I was already in a trade. But basically, it was first entry, second entry engulfing up here would have been a trade, and then it got stopped out. But I wouldn't have taken that anyway. I don't think, if I didn't have that other trade. I mean, definitely the trade I took was like, where is it? A way better looking trade. But I liked it for the reason that I was betting on the support of the previous day close and the support of the opening price to give me enough of a little bit of bounce. Gary says, I imagine we break the 15s and use it as support soon. Yeah, I mean, I think it could go either way, honestly, but those two levels, the opening price and the previous day close, the blue line, the fact that my signal bar closed above both of those gave me confidence in it. Besides the fact that I'm supposed to take the trade anyway there, but it gave me like extra confidence. But I mean, as far as anything else, who knows? I mean, we're right in the middle of this range of the day, right? So it could go either way. I mean, the range could just be like that, right? So it poked out up here. I had a nice trade on the failed breakout. Yeah, imagine if I could have just rode that all the way in. I definitely would be over the 30% rule on that PA. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I see it as a range day, and maybe we're just heading back to the bottom now. But again, I'm trying not to be biased and do too much of that, especially not when it comes to which trades I'm taking, because that hasn't helped me recently when I've tried to create a bias. All right, so did I update all my stats? I think I did, right? And I just have to decide what my next account traded is going to be. I'll go to account 35, I guess. All right. So Gary's just saying he's traded around 7 years, around 2 years with futures, and 5 years with stocks. Gary says another saying for risky. Imagine if I could have rode that all the way in. Wow, slowly upgrading. Your next step might be options. Saggy says 27 also close to pass. Yeah, 27 is 160 away. The 5-year stint did include options as well. Yeah, I went down the options road also. I've traded stocks, options, and futures all at this point. So we have a similar trajectory, Gary. So let me see where I'm at here. That's the chart I had at loss. So this is my best chart today so far. Gary says he has just enough experience to be dangerous. Gary's heading out to lunch, 15 PAs, 680-ish per catch in the new week. Great, Gary. Good end to your week. You had a great week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the holiday day off. Saggy says next week he won't be here. Taking a little break, going on vacation with friends on the beach, clubs, nature, water sports. Great, Saggy. Enjoy your trip next week. We'll catch you on the other side. All right, so I'm 3-1 today. Now PA7 is obviously in extreme danger of blowing up the next time I take a trade on it, which won't be today. I'm not going to go into a long weekend thinking about blowing up the account today. I am going to make it so that the next trades I take on that account, I'll just trade one contract instead of two. And if it's going to get dug out, it's going to be a very long, slow process. But I'll give it its best chance. What I'll probably do, honestly, is when I trade it next week, I'll probably just copy trade it onto trades with other accounts. Because it's likely to blow up mid-trade even, potentially, even on one contract. And I'm not going to switch to micros for it. It's just not worth the time and effort. So I'll probably just copy it, kind of like what I did with account 35 when I brought that back before. Because that one was way down, and I just copy traded it with all the other accounts, and I was able to bring it back quicker just by taking multiple trades with it every day. So I'll give it its best chance to bring it back next week. We'll see what happens. All right, so this is just really going sideways lately. There was a second entry here, but it would break my rule because the close was below the previous day close. And so those are just trades I'm avoiding. If the stem had closed outside more, I probably would have taken it because I wouldn't be surprised for a retest of the high, but just not a trade I'm taking with my current rules. So these are the only times I should skip trades, is in a situation like this where there's like a very objective reason, a very objective rule, not subjective. And whether it works or not doesn't matter. So otherwise, I'm taking every entry. So he says, probably I'm going to miss your payout session. Well, if you miss it, there will always be, you can always go back. You can always go back and watch it back because I leave everything on my channel. So, or who knows, I was $60 away from passing evaluation 31 and I blew it up at the same time. So who knows, maybe you'll come back and it'll just be blown up. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll get it there. I think I do like trading the 3 contracts on the 50K because it's all relative to each other. If I'm trading 3 contracts or 2 contracts, it doesn't matter how big the loss is because no one loss is going to blow up the account regardless. I mean, especially on a 50K. And then I'll make it up just as quick as I would if I was trading 2 contracts. So either way, it gets me to my goal a little bit quicker than trading 2. I mean, the reality is if I was trading 3 contracts the whole time, I probably would have already hit payout, I'm guessing. Potentially. Or I would have been at least a little bit closer than the 400 I've been. So basically I'm ending this week on that account right where I started, 400 away. So we'll just see. But I'm going to try my best to not focus on it and not trade thinking about it. I'm just going to trade my system and trade my entries the way they come for my system. And then hopefully after it'll be at least 2 more trades, I think. Hopefully I'll have 2 more trades and I'll just look down there after the trade and go like, oh, look at that. I qualified. That's how I'd like it to go. Also, I'm in great position again on it just in time for the next payout window. So if I have any luck at all, next week could be the week. All right, Saggy, have a good one. If I don't see you, I'll see you when you get back, and I hope you have a great trip. I'm noticing too that with my system, it's like once I have a chart that I've got a couple wins on, I mean, it seems like I do my best when I stick to the one chart, which I kind of naturally tend to do that anyway. You know, once I have a win and 2 wins on a chart, I tend to give that a little bit of like the preferential treatment, pay a little bit more attention to it than I do the other charts that I have open. I guess it's also just kind of circumstance, but I am definitely just taking the trades as they come, which is why I did end up with that loss on this trade. Hopefully I can finish out this week strong, maybe another win or 2 in the next 50 minutes, and then call it a day. Also, I decided yesterday, because my strategy, as you can see, I'm getting more than 11 ticks on all these trades I've won today. Yesterday, my last 2 trades of the day were winners for 11 ticks, which used to be my usual scalp target. So I think when it gets to about 9 o'clock, I will switch my ATM to just go for the 11 ticks instead of the possibility of more. Just because yesterday I did have 2 losses right at the end of the day, my last 2 trades, both around 9 and after, and they both would have worked for the 11 ticks, but they just didn't work for the bigger number that I was trying to get. So, because my auto stop price has to go so far before my auto stop will move up and capture a minimum. So, yesterday could have been honestly, yesterday could have been a 9-0 day, because the trade where I lost my evaluation, it went to my profit target. It just didn't tick through. I needed 8 ticks and it went 8 ticks, but I needed it to go to the 9th tick for it to lock in the fill on my Apex account. So that could have been a win. And then my last 2 trades both worked for 11 ticks. So I think that will be a new rule of mine, is to just only go for 11 ticks once it's as late as almost 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's in 40, 50 minutes from now. All right, I've lost my chatting partners for today. So far, Saggy and Gary are the only ones that talk to me in here. But hopefully at some point I'll have other guests join me that that want to participate also. This is fun. Keeps the day moving for me. All right, so here's a first entry. This could be a second entry, but it would be going right into the opening price if it triggers. So that's not an entry I'm willing to take. Even though it looks like it's kind of like the bottom of this range. So it might not be a bad trade, but just because I have an objective reason to stay out, I don't like trading into these areas that could be resistance. I will just stay out of it. Win or lose, it doesn't affect me. It's really, I mean, it's basically my only rule. I don't have rules for my trades at this point other than these areas. All right, so I have 3 charts. This is now another chart I'm watching. So 3 charts. And let's see. So it looks like this would have worked. But again, these are just the areas where I've seen that when I take losses, a lot of times that's where my losses come from. When I take a loss like this, I have seen these situations where bars are stacking up and I've lost, but I also win these a lot of times. So I'm not ruling these out at this point. It's more of a subjective kind of feeling. When I took this, I was like, I don't love the way it looks, but they've worked a lot, so I was giving it a chance. No clear objective reason to stay out. Whereas this gives me a clear objective reason to stay out. So, and that's what I'm trying to do with the strategy, is just a black and white strategy, virtually as close as I can get to one, and then just try to trade it like a bot. It either is not trading into one of these areas or it is. And if it's not, then I take the entry. And if it is, then I don't. And then ultimately, it's just, if I'm winning 4 out of 5 times, 80% overall for the year on basically 200 trades, then the question is, if I'm winning 4 out of 5 trades and I'm spreading out my wins and losses, rotating accounts for every trade, the question is just, can I get to payouts? Can I get to payouts? Can I pass more evaluations? Will the wins hit the accounts enough times in a row without a loss on any particular account that I'm able to get to those profit goals, trading at 4 out of 5. And so that's kind of the experiment. That's what I'm looking to see here. I've passed 2 evaluations trading this way. 6 and 7 both came out of the system. Two existed before I was trading the system. So 2, the only thing that I've done is I've only traded the system on PA2. So all the profit here is from the system. And passing 2 evals was from the system, but on the 25Ks. And now I've proven to myself that I can actually get to the profit target because I'm at 52.8 on the evaluation. So that's the first time with the system I've gone to 52.8. And now, hopefully next week, I'll pass this evaluation. It'll be the first 50K evaluation I've passed, which means it took me 3 months to do it. But I've been making some modifications and adjustments with my strategy for the first 3 months of the year. And then if I can get this one to pay out, that would be a really good sign. I think if I make these 2 things happen next week, then I'm probably going to be just done with the 25K accounts moving forward. Because so far, it's not like I've, account 6, P6, I've traded for 22 days. I'm below the starting balance, and PA7, I've traded for 9 days, and it's almost blown up now after today. So it's not like it's getting me to payouts any quicker. So if it's not getting me to payouts any quicker, then I'd rather have the extra little bit of room in case I run into a loss or 2. There's basically 2 losses. 2 losses in a row basically almost kill a 25K account trading the way I'm trading. So yeah, probably no reason to continue with 25Ks. I just wanted to test it out and see, like, does it help me get to profits quicker? Because if it doesn't help me get to profits quicker, then why do accounts that are the same price and max payout is $500 less? So the only reason for me to do it is if I was able to show myself that I pass them quicker and I qualify for payouts quicker, which just hasn't panned out yet. So very likely, I think I will probably cancel 26, maybe on the last day of either on Monday or on Tuesday. I'll probably cancel it and just buy a 50K and replace it with a 50K. And then we'll have I'll have this 25K that's fresh. What about this one? This one's going to renew. Maybe I'll cancel this one too and buy another 50K. So I might cancel 2 25Ks and buy 2 50Ks beginning of next week. And then I'll just have the one 25K left. And we'll see what I do with that. All right, definitely just stuck in this range right now. Stuck in this range and near the previous day close and the open price. So there's just probably not going to be a lot of opportunities for me to take a trade that I trust in this area. But I'll hang and hope for more. Today's interesting too, because today's basically a Friday, even though it's Thursday. There's no trading tomorrow. So usually the day before a weekend starts, I'm I'm very content to only take 1 or 2 trades, but today I've got 4 trades and 3 out of 4. So the great thing is I've already taken care of all of my best accounts, as far as my PAs and my closest to passing an evaluation. So any other trade I take is somewhat inconsequential to, what really matters, especially because my next trade is going to be on account 35. So also for that reason, because it's just no pressure. So. All right, unless I think of something to say here, I'm just going to turn my mic off and just wait for if there's any more setups coming or not. So he says done. Does that mean you're back or you're done trading? Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done trading. No, I was just saying, since nobody was here talking with me and I didn't really have much else to say on my own, that I was just going to turn my mic off while I'm waiting for another setup. But I'll be here till at least around 9, so another 30 or so minutes. But if I don't take any more trades today, it's a good day for me. Usually I have less trades on Fridays, and today is essentially a Friday since no trading tomorrow. So I'm happy with my 3-in-1 day. I won't keep it from, I won't stop. What am I trying to say? I won't let me being 3-in-1 going into a weekend stop me from taking the next trade, because my next trade will be on account 35. And, it won't feel too bad no matter what happens with that trade. It's not one of the more important accounts to me at the moment. Sagi says, again, in consolidation, this week is trash. Yeah, this week has been just really sideways. I mean, let's see the daily. Yeah, I mean, here's the week. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Really since, here's last Friday, here's last Thursday. But I mean, even, the past many weeks, we've just been in this range. So 600 on the top and probably about 100 on the bottom. So a 500-point range over the course of a few weeks. But yeah, definitely the last few days has just been really kind of not going anywhere. It goes up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. So but again, with the way I'm trading it, it doesn't even really matter. As long as there's like a little bit of movement. I mean, even here, like I'm getting a trade off of this, right? It's like, it doesn't take much for me to get my, 11 to 20 ticks. Saggy says, but I'm happy because now my strategy gives me profit in trending and consolidation markets. Yeah, that's the key, I think. I think if you can trade a strategy where it doesn't really matter what the market structure is or what kind of personality the market's having on any given day, you're giving yourself the best chance. The problem with a lot of strategies is they work in some market conditions but not others, and then it's hard to not take it. It's hard to not trade. It's really hard to have a strategy where you look at the market and go, "Oh, I just can't trade today because the market's doing whatever it's doing." So, I feel like I don't know much about ICT, but once in a while I go and watch someone's video, and they trade ICT, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm not trading today because there's not going to be a setup today." To me, I don't really understand why have a strategy where you're limited. That some days you just can't even trade at all. Like, I think if you're trading a strategy like that, then why not try to find a strategy where you can trade on those days? Why? There's only so many trading days in the year, right? So, to me, the holy grail is having a strategy that can work in virtually any market, or have multiple strategies, be versatile. I mean, for me, I'm really Segi says, but I think ICT have big risk rewards, so I think they are also winning big. Yeah, they do. I mean, they do. But the thing with ICT is like, it's kind of like a cult in a way. It seems like, if you're a believer, then it's like the only way to trade, and there's like a weird thing that happens where they look at any other way of trading as like not the way to do it, or I don't know. It's kind of strange, but yeah, they have big risk reward, but I still, I see ICT traders that lose a lot, and those losses add up. So especially if you're playing the prop game, how many losses can you endure with the trailing drawdown before you blow up your accounts, or even an end of day drawdown, or just a static drawdown? You're going to blow up accounts if you're only a 40% win rate. Your odds of getting a streak of losers in a row is really high. I mean, at 40%, you can go on a 5 to 8 trade losing streak. Like legit. I mean, even when you're 90%, you could go on a 2 or 3 trade losing streak. So, for prop accounts, it's not really the best strategy. Also, you have to deal with like consistency rules on prop accounts. So, I mean, ICT is really not, in a lot of ways, the best strategy for a prop account. Sagi says, I like only thing from that strategy that is order block. Order block equals supply and demand. Yeah, but exactly, right, Sagi? I mean, the order blocks are just support and resistance areas. It's just kind of like another way to identify it. And the entry, they use their entries in a different way, but it's not really anything special if you think about it. It's just finding support resistance zones, and then giving you kind of a mechanical entry in a way. It's like most people should be able to take the same entry. Mostly Forex traders use, yeah, I've noticed that too. A lot of Forex traders, but now a lot of Forex traders are coming to futures because all of the Forex props firms issues, especially in the States. So a lot of those traders are going to be coming to futures, and a lot of those prop firms are going to try to open up futures prop firms. No, it's not a dig at ICT. I mean, shoot, I wasn't paying attention. This was a trade I could have taken. Man, I wish I was paying attention. I would have definitely taken that. And a super small bar, 20 ticks. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I think my head's already out of the game and thinking about the weekend, because that was a great setup for me. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm not. It's not a dig at ICT. I just, I mean, I only know what I see about it on like people that trade it on YouTube, and it's just not something that interests me to take or to use. But also, I haven't really seen any ICT traders on YouTube anyway that are trading on prop firms and having like a lot of success with it. Yeah, the few ones that I've seen, have a couple payouts maybe, but it's not like they're killing it. They're certainly not doing what like Alpine Trader's doing with his like opening trade, where he's getting max payouts on like 10 to 18 accounts at one time every payout window. Sagi says iced tea looks so complicated to me. Yeah, well, I think there's like the basic part of it, right? Like the order blocks that you talked about. But then there's all these like extra bells and whistles the guy keeps coming up with. Like, oh, here's the 24 trade. Here's the 23 trade. Here's the 22. It's like every year he's coming up with like the next best thing, it sounds like. I mean, to me, it's like pretty much almost every trading system I've seen is complicated to some degree. I look at like footprint charts. Not that I look at them, but when I've seen them, footprint charts or the book map. I mean, that all looks complicated to me. And everything works until it doesn't work. So I think it doesn't really matter on the strategy. Most people, it's like can learn a strategy, but the thing that gets in their way is still their own psychology. The strategy is just a means to like find entries, but then it's like, what do you do? What do you do when the trade's going against you? What do you do when you take a loss? You start bending the rules and doing like what I did yesterday on my evaluation. Do you just enter again right away because something weird happened? And my system mostly keeps me out of that stuff, but yesterday I fell prey to it. What's the difference between SMC and ICT? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. To me, there's some similarities in there, but then there's some differences. So I think the difference is just the guy that created ICT, right? He probably took some stuff from SMC and made it his own, I'm guessing. And seems like he just repackages things and gives it a name and says it's his. I don't know. I mean, the guy, the biggest problem of ICT for me is just like the guy seems like a scam artist. So it's really hard to like put any time or effort into like looking at something when the guy's been proven to like be kind of fraudulent in his actions. You know, faking trades and accounts and things and getting caught. So that's all it takes to keep me away is, you know, if his system was as good as he claims it is, then why was he doing that? Why would he have to? So anyway, it's all alleged. Who knows what he's really up to? But all I know is it's really easy. It's super easy to like live stream your trades and show your trades. It's really easy to have a window that has your accounts with a live window that changes as the trade happens. It's a live window, and you can leave it on the screen. You can, you could be like me. You can have two windows. I have this window and this window, and you can show your balances. You can show your P&Ls on every single trade. It's so easy for anyone who's legitimate to go on YouTube and just record your screen and record every trade you take and have every account you have being shown, so that you know that nothing's going on in the background separate of what you're showing on your YouTube. And you can be legitimate, and you can add up your stats and keep track of them and keep them there all the time. And it's super easy to be transparent. And if you have a real strategy that's so awesome and legit that you want to make money off of it from teaching it, then you can do what I'm doing, because I'm a nobody. I'm doing this, and you can show your wins and your losses and just just be legit, right? It's not hard. There's like literally no reason for anyone who's teaching a strategy to hide anything. Anyone that's selling a course, there's no reason they can't do this. There's no reason they can't do exactly what I'm doing. And if they're not doing this, then there's a reason. That's what I think. Because now that I've been doing this for as long as I have, I mean, even before I was live streaming, I was recording my sessions, and I would still show my live recorded session with these windows open so that you would see the numbers move at the same time. There's no way I could fake it, right? I would show my review, and then I would play my recording of the live recording of the trade as it happened live, and you could see it, and then ever since I've been live streaming, which is I think only this year, I think I started at the end of January, maybe something like that. But yeah, if you're going to live stream, or if you're going to teach a course, why wouldn't you live stream? At the very least, I mean, even if it's behind a paid wall, but they should be showing all of this. There's no reason to not show their accounts, their P&Ls, show everything. So he says, so many traders saying ICT is scam, but who cares? We three killing it here every day. I mean, I don't care what anyone else is up to, honestly. I mean, if there's something for me to learn from, like, I'll take note and kind of pay attention. But I honestly think it's really hard to take anybody else's strategy and trade it exactly the same as them and think you're going to have the same results. I say that because of trying to trade Mac's PAT system. I traded that system on ES for 3 years, and I was never able to he says if you get good enough, you should be 90 to 95%. I was never able to get that good. I was probably, there would be weeks where I could be in the 90%. And there's weeks where I was like 40%, overall, I'm not even sure I was 80%, if I'm legitimately adding up every single trade, wins and losses. But the biggest problem for me with that was just the volume of trades, and it was very subjective. So that's the problem I had. A subjective strategy that you're trying to emulate and trade it like someone else is like impossible, I think, like virtually impossible. Like there's going to be the handful of people out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that try to do it. It'll be the handful of people that can figure it out, and then the rest will fail. And I wouldn't say I'm killing it here. I feel like I'm doing all right. I'm definitely not killing it. I'd like to be killing it one day. I feel like my 80% is like a sign of like, there's some opportunity. And I still feel like my 80% is low, because even like this week, what am I this week? I'm 10-6 for the week. But I missed out on probably 2 to 4 wins. So I could be 14-6 this week, potentially. Plus, I just missed a win just not too long ago right here when I wasn't paying attention. You know, but let's say I was 14-6. I think that's, you know, that's probably where I should have been this week, but I wasn't trading my system properly for the first 2 days of the week, and I was skipping trades. So there's also like that aspect where, you know, my stats are my stats. Like I am legitimately 80% for the first 3 months of the year. But I haven't been trading the system the way I intend to trade it perfectly 100% of the time for the whole 3 months. And I literally started the system at the beginning of the year. So it's still in a state of like fluctuation. I'm still modifying how I'm doing things and what, like how I'm going about taking trades. And I'm having these kind of like moments of relapse where like those days like earlier this week where I was skipping trades, and it affects the stats overall, you know? So even though I'm 80% overall, I believe I should be a little bit higher than that, but that reflects my execution, right? So my execution is only 80% right now. I think there's room for improvement. Saggy said this week, your psychology is not great, I think. Yeah, I mean, for sure. There's no doubt about it. I think you're 100% correct. I think I started off the week just on very shaky ground for whatever reason with my psychology. I was very timid and very hesitant to take trades Monday and Tuesday. The market was very, very slow. And I think that had an effect on me where it was just so slow that I just wasn't pulling the trigger on trades. And then by the time I pulled the trigger, it was like I was back to doing the thing I used to do with my other systems, which is picking and choosing and based on subjective things. And when I pick and choose based on subjective reasons, I don't do well, you know. I do much better with like this kind of black and white system that I'm trying to trade by now. And a black and white system, it means, you know, I'm supposed to trade virtually as close to like being a bot as possible. You know, a bot wouldn't go like, oh, I feel like, you know, the market's going to close the gap, you know, so I'm not going to take the trade that there's no rule to stay out of the trade that you program the bot to do. And the bot's going to say, well, I'm not going to take it anyways, because I think, you know, this is a long trade and I think we're going to close the gap for a short, you know. A bot wouldn't think like that. And so that's how I need to think while I'm trading the system, is literally if there's not a hard objective rule to stay out of a trade, like where I stayed out of the trade in this area, then I have to take the trade, you know. So it's kind of like my loss today. Where is it? This loss. Like there was no hard objective rule to stay out of the trade, even though my brain was kind of saying like, the bars are stacking up. I'm not sure if this is a great trade. I had to take the trade because that's my rules. And it's also, quite frankly, when I trade this way, it actually, you know, it's weird. It's like counterintuitive. It actually makes me more confident even after taking a loss. Like it makes me not feel as bad about the loss. Like this loss to me didn't matter nearly as much as the losses I took earlier in the week on Tuesday, the day I was 0-2. That day really got to me, not because of the losses, but it got to me because I skipped trades before the losses. And so what I was upset about was I'm supposed to take those other trades, you know, and I didn't. So I missed the opportunity of getting some wins on the board before the losses came, because my strategy is all based on getting as many wins as I can before the losses come. That's actually my strategy. So that was the part that I was upset about with myself. I was just frustrated with myself because I was like, why am I skipping trades? I'm not supposed to skip entries. The only time I'm supposed to skip entries is if I have this hard objective reason to not take the trade. Otherwise, I'm supposed to take every entry, and win or loss, it's okay. And that's what happened today. So today I started off on this chart and I got 2 wins in a row. Both entries are not like entries that I would necessarily take if I was taking, you know, if I was analyzing the market and having subjective reasons to enter. I'm not sure I would have taken either one of them, but I took both of them because they were entries according to my system, and I was just taking them as they came. I got 2 wins in a row, and then I moved to a different chart, and I took this and I got a loss, and it really hasn't affected me. It doesn't bother me at all because I'm trading within my system. I had no rule to not take this trade, no current rule. That's a hard objective rule to stay out of it. And so I took the trade. It's according to my system, and it lost. I know there's going to be losers, and so it doesn't affect me. I took the loss and I said, okay, moving on. Now again, I broke the rule again, and this is something I do need to. This is like the same as yesterday, my last trade of the day, where it looked like it was going to engulf, and it didn't. And so my stop should be here, not all the way up here. And so I lost more than I had to. I was kind of looking at, again, at this point, like, well, if I lose the account, I'm putting the account at risk, and I'm willing to lose it, but I still didn't lose it. So it's kind of dumb for me to put it all the way up here and not lose the account too. So I need to do a better job of if I think it's going to engulf and it doesn't engulf, I either need to move it back. I need to move it back to where it belongs and let it take me out of the trade there. Or if I can't move it back in time because the price action moves too fast, I need to just exit the trade, just flatten the trade and just accept the loss. So I accepted the loss above this. It's not a terrible mistake. It's just I don't want to get into a bad habit of that. Saggy says, and also my psychology is not on the table, like so much emotional trades this week for me. That's good, Saggy. I mean, that to me, I think it's like the biggest and best thing we can all do for ourselves as traders is get our psychology right. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what your strategy is, but you need to be able to accept losses. You need to be able to not get emotional and just trade as much like a robot as possible. Saggy says, today's mistake is that I moved my stop loss. Okay. I mean, that happens. Me too. I moved mine. But the thing is, like, to not beat yourself up or to like tear yourself down, to not be emotional and, have highs and lows, I mean, the same way that I'm not getting upset about the loss, I'm also, I felt like I did a good job of not getting really high on my wins today. And it's like, if you're just trading a system, and you believe in it, then you just trade it and accept the results, and you just go through your day that way. And then at the end of the day, you just look down here and go, okay, that's what the results are today, and you look at your win rate or whatever you're keeping track of, and you say, okay, that's where it got me today. Do I need to make adjustments? Is there something I observed that I can make better about the system? Yeah, I think that's kind of the best thing we can all do for ourselves. So Saggy, yeah, you had a great day today. You're up 203, 174, and 766, and you're done for the day on 350Ks. Yeah, that's a great day. Congratulations. It's a good way to end the week. A great way to end the week. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, today I'm 3-1, so I've got 3 accounts that are up. I've got the 1 account that took a hit. I feel like I had a green day, like, and even though it's on a PA account that took the hit, but because I just, to me, PA2 and this evaluation 27 are more important than either one of the 25K PA accounts, quite honestly. So I'm kind of a little bit more excited to have another 50K PA on the board. And obviously, I mean, it doesn't help that these 25Ks are not in good shape. Both of them have to get dug out of a hole. But I'm more excited that I have the potential of getting another 50K PA, and obviously more excited about the potential of a payout than I don't even really care about losing on this account. I always figured that if I have 3 PA accounts, like I very well only might get one of them to a payout, but that's all I need to do. If I can get 1 out of 3 to a payout every time, I'm going to end up being ahead overall. Sagi says PA2 recovered very well today. Yeah. Well, I made 2 decisions that helped that. Maybe it was just 1 decision, but I added an extra contract. I was only trading 2 contracts before, and so I upped it to 3 contracts. I did that on the last trade I took on it too. So the last 2 trades, I got a little bit more than I would have otherwise on both trades. And so that helped me recover the loss in less trades. The last loss I took on that account. So I don't know, I'm like $60 or $80 under where the balance was before my last loss on that account. So I'm right back. Yeah, I'm right back to where I was when I started the week. Essentially break even for the week on this account, which is great. Just hopefully, my system is a little bit based on just luck or unluck of where the loss is going to come. There's a little bit of a roulette kind of style to my trading with the system, if I'm being honest. So why am I watching this chart? There's a little bit of a roulette system just in how I'm rotating accounts. And I know that I'm right now taking 1 loss out of every 5 trades. So it's just like, if I start with PA2 every day, it's just, am I going to start? There's been a lot of days where I've started my trading day with a loss. So it just depends. Like if the loss doesn't happen on my first trade of the day, then I'm golden, then it'll fall on a different account. So that's kind of how I'm just treating it now is, I'm going to just, and I was spinning the wheel to choose my accounts at one point. But now I just decided, well, 2 is the one I want to make sure I get a trade every day, and I want to make sure it has its best chance to get to a payout. So I'm just starting with that account every day and just hoping my first trade of the day isn't a loss, right? And then from there, the day gets a lot easier to trade and not thinking about anything. But today, I started my stream, and then this trade happened almost immediately once I started my stream and started trading. So it's like I've been doing a good job the last 2 days, yesterday and today, of just like getting in that trade, whatever the first trade is that sets up, like just taking it, and it's been working out. Sagi says PA7 is going to need a sniper shot. Yeah, I mean PA7 is. I mean, honestly, it's pretty much dead. I mean, PA7, what do I have? I have $150, $250, $270 in drawdown. So $270 in drawdown on 1 contract. There's a chance I could take a trade and the drawdown will take me out of the account mid-trade. Honestly, it's very possible that even on a winning trade, the account will get blown up. So I don't have a whole lot of hope for it, and I'm not going to put a whole lot of energy into it in terms of thinking about it. I'm prepared to lose that account, and I really won't think twice about it. And you better believe if I do get to a payout on PA2 anytime soon after I lose this account, I especially won't be thinking about it, because that 1 payout makes me break even for Apex. Wow, so Sam Bankman-Fried Sentenced to 25 years in prison, the FTX guy. 25 years. Can you imagine going from being on top of the world, like one of the youngest billionaires, and to become a billionaire in like record time, to losing it all and going to jail for 25 years? Man, guy is too smart for his own good. And it's crazy because he didn't have to do what he did. I mean, he had a legitimate business going. I mean, who knows how much, apparently it was all set up on a house of cards, but he had legitimate success very early on. I mean, what he was doing with his arbitrage trades was genius. He didn't have to become a billionaire and take over the world and defraud everybody. It's just insane. He should run to London. He's not running anywhere. He's in custody. So, wow. Yeah, what a story that is. Just unbelievable. These guys, him and Madoff, it's just, how do you even have the balls to do it? I would never be able to even think of something like that, let alone actually try to execute it. I think he thought maybe being in the Bahamas too is going to like protect him somehow. I don't know if he thought he couldn't be brought to justice if he was based there. I'm not sure, but just such an interesting story. All right, it's 9 o'clock. What am I doing? 9 o'clock and the market volume is really dried up. And just, man, I mean, look, we've been sideways. Let's take it from here. Here, actually. Take it from down here. We've been sideways for an hour and a half in a 33.5 point range. So I think I am going to call it a day. I think, unfortunately, I missed a trade here. It could have been 4-1 for today, which would have been right at my 80%. But I just unfortunately wasn't paying attention to take it. But I think it was largely a successful day for me. I'm happy about the day. I'm happy with how I finished my week strong between yesterday and today. Like, even though I had 3 losses yesterday, like I needed to do what I did yesterday to get my mind right and trade my system appropriately. There's no point in having a system like the one I'm trading if I'm not going to trade it the way I've decided is the best way to trade it for myself. So I'm proud of myself for getting my head right to finish the week off strong in terms of entering trades. And I'll tighten up some of my little weaknesses that got exposed this week, and come back next week stronger and better, and stick to my rules a little bit better, and we'll see where it takes me. So Sagi said if you have billions now, he can donate to Pakistan. Pakistan gonna protect him. It's funny. All right, so Sagi says, yes, done for the day. See you soon, brother. Yeah, Sagi, I'm done. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Thanks for the chat as always. I didn't even mention this at all today, but if anyone didn't notice, the 80% discount is still ongoing. Apex extended it. So it was supposed to end yesterday at market close. They extended the 80% discount and 1-day pass through next Tuesday, which is, What is next Tuesday? I think April 2nd. Yeah, April 2nd at the close of market. So you have more time to use this code or any other if you want to start trading on Apex Eval accounts, 80% off. They're still running the 1-day pass, so if you trade bigger than me, there's always the opportunity to pass an evaluation in any given single day until Tuesday. And otherwise, yeah, I'm here trading live on stream starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I usually finish around this time or so every day. And no trading tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's a closed market. There will be no trading at all, not even a half day. And then market is open regular hours on Monday, full day. So I'll be back Monday. And let's see where we're at. So one trade shy of 200 trades. I've got 199 trades in 3 months to start this year. Record volume of trades for me. So right there, right off the bat is great for me. The 40 losses a little higher than I'd like. But hopefully I can tighten things up a little bit. Probably to me, the balance comes out from not skipping trades because I've been missing out on more winners lately because of not taking trades than getting extra losers. So the fact that I'm at 80% and I've missed some winners, just subjectively missing trades or skipping trades, not committing, makes me feel like potentially I could be closer to 85% overall over time. But it is what it is. I'm legitimately 80% right now, and that's not bad. I think the way I'm trading my Apex accounts, if I can continue to be 4 out of 5 trades, I will have success with these accounts. So once I get a payout, I am planning on going a little bit harder at my accounts, a little bit bigger, and being a little bit more aggressive in the way I trade the accounts. So just to kind of give it a little bit of a turbocharge, it shouldn't take me, and I don't want it to take me 3 months to get one payout. I want to start using the advantage of multiple accounts and push these along a little bit quicker. So a little bit more size and maybe trading 2 accounts at a time instead of one, like one PA and one eval, at a time, and see if I can start just giving it a little turbocharge. But it all hinges on me getting the payout first, because I don't want to create a system where I'm just like building more and more debt to Apex, essentially, like in terms of fees. I've done a really good job of keeping the fees down, only being at $2,000 for a year of trading on Apex, which, by the way, this is basically my 1-year anniversary on Apex right now. So, I'd say the beginning of next week is a solid 1 year of trading on Apex. So to have only spent $2,000 on all the fees and all that time, I was able to keep the fees down while I'm figuring out how I want to trade, what the best system to trade is. And I landed on this system just at Christmas time and started trading this PA account at that time. So we've got a sell off here. What I don't want to do is just get like crazy and where I spent $2,000 in a year, I don't want to spend $2,000 in, a month or two or whatever, without starting to get profits back or payouts back. So I want to get the 2,000 back, start basically break even, and then I'll go a little bit bigger, but the idea is not to like rack up 2,000 in charges before another payout again and do it in 2 months instead of a year. So I want to do it carefully, and we'll see how I can do that. Anyway, I think I've said it all. I really do. Not my best week. 10-6 overall for 63%. Definitely not my best week. But 3-1 today, so finishing strong. Could have been 4-1. That's all right. And really happy with my win on PA2 and the valuation 27. So hopefully I can bring those to the promised land next week. Have a good holiday weekend, everybody. Hope you had a good trading day. And we'll be back at it on Monday. Don't forget, you can sleep in tomorrow. Well, unless you're saggy, because saggy trades at nighttime in India. So if you're on the other side of the world, it changes everything. But for me, I get to sleep in tomorrow instead of waking up at 6:30 a.m. All right, I'm out here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing, hopefully, if you have. And I'm really interested to see where this journey continues to take me from here. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.